Hey guys, it's Kathy. I hope you're doing well. Fozzie, I don't know if you're here or not, but I forgot to say during my last stream. Guess what I did yesterday? I worked a chainsaw. I cut down a bunch of trees yesterday. Yes, I did. All by myself. I asked for help and they all said no. They all were too busy. I asked for help the day before and I asked for help the day before and I said, listen, guys, it's a chainsaw. Can someone just come out with me for a minute until I figure out exactly how to use this damn thing? Because it's a chainsaw. So maybe there should be two people just in case. And they kept saying tomorrow, 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 tomorrow. So yesterday I was like, nope, no more. There's no more tomorrows. No more. I got everything down but one. It's the biggest one. And the reason why it's there is because my neighbor behind me had a chain link fence. And then she put up another fence, a wood fence. Okay. But she left the chain link fence up. She has this wood fence and then she has this chain link fence. And in between that gap, nothing. She can't get to it anymore because her fence is really high. So like there was a lot of growth. A lot of growth was happening right there, including the tree that grew. So I cut down her chain link fence. Just took it away. I wrapped it up. I rolled it up and I put it, in the back of my yard behind my shed. And she's like, "What did you do to my fence?" I'm like, ma'am, this has to get cleaned up. It has to get cleaned up. I can't get to it with your fence there and your other fence there. So I got rid of the chain link fence and I cut down a lot of the stuff with a chainsaw by myself. No, look, wait. I got all 10 fingers and both legs. And I'm an expert at using a chainsaw now because what I didn't realize is when you cut down a tree by yourself and you start pushing the chainsaw, the tree sort of falls into your chainsaw. So when you get like halfway through, then there's too much pressure and the chainsaw gets stuck and you have to get it unstuck somehow, which is challenging. So you have to halfway chainsaw it and then halfway chainsaw it and then the tree falls right on you. But that's okay because it's covered in leaves, so it just doesn't really hurt. I also realized this month that I don't think I'm allergic to poison ivy, poison oak, because I've gotten rid of a bunch back there and I'm okay. Except for that. That's my cat. My cat, oh, you can't see it. See it? My cat got me good today. Real good. She was on my keyboard. Anyway, we're late for OJ because I was talking to Fozzie, who's not even here. That's fine. That's fine.
Actually, the last question. Be right back. I'm sorry.
Last question was, did you have concern that when Mr. Goldman's body was going to be taken through the 30-inch area that it could disturb or alter the envelope containing the prescription eyeglasses, the glove, and the knit hat?
I did not have an opportunity to be concerned because Mr. Goldman was moved by the time I got back from the crime scene truck.
But when you arrived, Mr. Goldman had been moved.
That's correct.
Did you express concern to Detective Lang? Well, whatever you do, don't move Mr. Goldman's body or the body of the second victim there through this 30-inch area where you have the glove, the envelope, and the hat.
I don't believe I had an opportunity to speak with Detective Lang before that point.
Well, don't you think that was an important thing to tell him?
It's irrelevant.
Sustained.
Did you think at the time that that was a matter that should be brought to his attention?
Irrelevant.
That's over.
I had no idea he was going to move Mr. Goldman.
Well, were you shocked that he directed the coroners or permitted the coroners to move Mr. Goldman through that evidence?
Sustained.
Were you surprised?
Sustained.
Were you concerned when you saw that he had permitted the coroners or directed them to move Mr. Goldman's body through that evidence?
Same objection.
Overruled.
I was concerned, yes.
Did you express that concern to Chief Forensic Chemist Steve Johnson, who was standing right there?
Irrelevant.
Sustained.
Did Chief
Lori, my love, how are you feeling, sweetheart? I hope you're feeling better.
Forensic Chemist Johnson, to your knowledge, say anything to you about it?
No.
Did you say anything to him about it?
Yes, I did.
What did you say?
I asked him about the moving of the bodies.
You expressed concern that that was a bad idea.
I expressed to him that I was concerned about it, yes.
And to your knowledge, he never did anything about it.
Irrelevant.
Sustained.
To your knowledge, did he do anything about it?
Your Honor, it's irrelevant.
Sustained.
Now, one of the start this way. Your Honor, I queued up two pictures that I've shown to the prosecutor of the glove, and I'd like, with the court's permission, to show them to the witness.
Right.
And to the jury.
I'm the jury. Me. Bill, don't spill any pudding today either. No Jell-O, no pudding.
Mr. Fung, as I guess I'm looking at it here, to the left is a photograph of the glove and the hat with an evidence tag that says 102, correct?
I can't make out the hat from the screen, but I do see the glove.
See the glove. You look carefully.
On the
corner.
right, I
Yeah.
see a very dark area next to the glove. I can't make it out as a hat, though.
All right. And to the picture to the right, with the picture of the finger pointing at the glove, you see that?
Yes.
You've seen that picture before, correct?
Today, yes.
All right. You've seen any picture like that before with a finger pointing at the glove, perhaps in the grand jury?
Perhaps, but I don't remember it.
Well, at any time prior to coming into this courtroom, have you seen that picture? Or a picture like depicting the glove in that position?
Your Honor, we've gone over this and it's irrelevant.
We have. We've gone over this.
All right.
He's identified what it is.
Okay. My question to you, sir, is, isn't it clear to you that the picture on the right, the one with the finger pointing at the glove is in a different position than the one to the left?
Yes,
The glove's been turned around completely, hasn't it?
it is in a different position, yes.
Well, could you describe the differences?
Your Honor, this violates the best evidence rule. Picture speaks for itself.
Overruled. If you can tell.
On the picture on the right, the opening or wrist portion appears to be towards the pavement, and in the picture on the left, the glove is in a different position with the wrist in another orientation.
And there's some debris.
Let me see counsel without reporting.
So let's think about this as like a crime scene person. All right. You want to get pictures of the crime scene. Okay. You see a bloody glove. You snap a couple pictures of the bloody glove. Would it make sense to like then flip the glove over and take a couple pictures? Would that that makes sense to me that they would want to take pictures of everything.
Proceed.
I don't know.
Now,
1075. All right, this side-by-side photo image will mark as 1075, defense exhibit 1075.
you see in the picture to the left, the one with the evidence marker on it, what appear to be drag marks.
I mean, coming from the upper left-hand corner,
Yes.
could be, yes.
And you see debris now on top of the tiles.
I see what appear to be leaves on the tiles.
Now, has this discrepancy ever been pointed out to you before you came into this courtroom?
I haven't seen the picture, or I don't recall seeing the picture on the right, so no.
No one has ever it has never come to your attention before coming into this courtroom that the picture of the glove on the right that was taken before you arrived at the crime scene showed the glove in a different position than the picture that you directed be taken on June 13th.
It's never been brought to my attention, no.
Has anybody, did you inquire of anybody on June 13th when you took the picture on the left, whether or not the glove had been moved into a different position than it originally was after Mr. Goldman's body had been removed?
I assumed they had not been moved.
I'm sorry?
I assumed that they had not been moved.
You assumed that they had not been moved.
That's right.
Well, you told us before that you had a concern that the glove and the envelope and the hat might be moved when Mr. Goldman's body was.
Bill, I do the same thing when I go into your chat, because I don't go into anybody else's chat but yours. I go in and say hi, and then everybody says hi back, but I don't say hi back to every single person individually. No, heck no. My daughter would kill me.
Taken away. Didn't you?
That misstates the evidence.
Sustain.
After you saw Mr. Goldman's body being removed, did you make inquiry of Detective Lang as to whether or not the glove was in the same place as it was before Mr. Goldman's body was removed?
No.
It's irrelevant.
Sustain.
From the moment you arrived at the Bundy crime scene to the moment that you've seen these pictures in the courtroom, do you ever recall seeing the glove in a different position than is depicted in these photographs?
At the scene, the glove at the scene.
Glove at the scene.
I remember the glove being in the position that it is with the identification card next to it.
The 102 photograph.
Yes.
You never saw the glove in any different position prior to the time it was collected.
I don't recall it being in a different position, no.
You never saw that glove on top of the tiles.
On the walkway?
Yeah.
No.
You ever saw that glove on or near the blanket?
I don't recall, no.
I'd like to show you a video, Mr. Fung. Do you recall, while we're setting this up, do you recall that Detective Van Adder arrived at the crime scene that morning at Bundy?
I don't recall if it was in the morning or in the afternoon, but he did make a brief stopover.
And when he stopped by, he walked up the stairs and had a brief talk with you at some point?
He may have, I don't recall.
And you recall that Chief Forensic Chemist Johnson at some point walked up that stairwell at Bundy?
At some point he did, yes.
And do you recall that those two gentlemen walked up there before the gloves and the knit hat were collected?
I don't recall if it was before or after.
Do you recall putting
I checked this. It seems back on the gloves.
Sustain.
glove, the Bundy glove, my apology,
All right. Rephrase the question.
the Bundy glove. Do you remember putting down evidence cards near the glove and the hat and the envelope prior to their collection,
Yes.
prior to the photographs being taken?
Prior?
Yes,
Yes.
you did that.
Yes.
I'd like to show you some video.
Yeah, perhaps I could see this first. I'm not sure what he's about to play.
All right. How long is this? Second.
Very short.
I think we need to approach.
Counsel, please, that reaction is not necessary. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as far as the jury is concerned, we're going to take a recess for the afternoon session at this time. Please remember all of my admonitions to you. Do not discuss the case amongst yourselves, form any opinions about the case. Do not conduct any deliberations until the matter has been submitted to you. Do not allow anybody to communicate with you with regards to the case. As far as the jury is concerned, we will stand in recess until tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Mr. Fung, you may step down. You're ordered to
Mr.
return tomorrow morning,
Goldberg.
9 a.m. All right, we also have motions on, so as soon as we clear the jury, we'll resume with the this evidence and motions.
I represent to you that there's two sets of videos. And if Mr. Goldberg and the prosecution look, they'll see two versions of this. One that is depicted here, and another one that has the counter on it.
Mhm.
We chose the one without the counter on it because it gives it a view that is unobstructed by the counter. But I'm confident that if they go back and look at the video, they will see this.
The problem may be, as I was about to say, that because it's edited into three separate segments that are arranged in some chronological order by the defense, it may be that I'm not recognizing one of those three sequences. But we object to the sequencing itself, and that I think what counsel's trying to portray is some sort of historical view of what happened at that crime scene in the chronological order. And this video tape that has been apparently edited does not do that, because it's showing three distinct things.
Mr. Check?
Your Honor, I think that what this video depicts is, and Mr. Goldberg can go back and look and consult with the original footage as much as possible. But I think what there is an object on that screen that we believe could well be the glove that's on the walkway near the blanket. And it's there during these periods of time when Mr. Van Adder is walking through, at what I think is consistent with his testimony at about 9:45 when he's going to consult Detective Lang for the warrant. We have other footage of Mr. Fung and Detective Van Adder conversing. They can look at that. Mr. Johnson, the witness testified, walked through the crime scene. I think there's a clear picture of that.
Not
And
Shrek.
finally, we have Mr. Fung
It's
placing
not
down the
Shrek.
exhibits.
It's
This seems to be the most expeditious way to zero in on the issue and ask him if he knows what that
All right,
object
so you're
is.
saying
I
that one of
can't
these videos does
remember.
not have something that appears to be the glove on the walkway.
Well, I think all three of them do. That's
All
our
right, well,
position. Where we want to
let's
certainly
see
make an
again.
inquiry. We want to make an
Peter will
inquiry as to
say
what
any
that
minute
object is because it looks to us like the glove, and we want the witness's
Whoops,
best recollection and view as to what that object is. That's the purpose of showing him these.
It's right on the
See it
tip
again.
of my head. It's
Is this in some type of order chronologically?
To the best we can reconstruct it, it is. But I think that the important point, and we can make this clear to the jury, is that all of these shots are taken at a point prior to the time that Mr. Fung sets down the cards, the photographs are taken, and the glove is collected.
All right, let's have a look again.
See that on the right-hand side of the screen, Your Honor?
I do.
We contend that's the glove.
it's Shrek. Not Shrek. Shrek. But
I
Shrek.
think that's clearly in a position either
Locked
on or
in
near
my
the
brain.
blanket, inside the tiles. We stopped it there, so we want to have Mr. Fung take a look at that. He's previously seen this footage, but perhaps he didn't notice it. Can we show the next one? Next one that I believe is Detective Van Adder walking through. And I think the same object can be seen near his feet. Finally, we have Mr. Fung placing down the cards, and I think in that shot you can see the object in the same position as when Mr. Johnson and Detective Van Adder were walking through with Mr. Fung putting down the evidence card.
So you're going to ask him, what is that?
That's right.
Okay. All right, Mr. Goldberg, any further comment?
It's still photographs. We could take this up in the morning, so I could have an opportunity to take a closer look at still photographs and also the video.
Take it up at 8:30. 8:30. I'm sorry? All right, well, how about if we do this? I have a whole panoply of media motions to address. So if you want time to look at these items, I'm sure you have the same videotapes, correct?
There are two cassettes of videos that I'm sure Mr. Goldberg and Mr. Fung have looked through. It's the same two cassettes. I think if the court has a copy of those cassettes as well, we've made those available since the opening statement. If you look through those, you'll see this, and you'll see this a number of times. I would make one further request, however, and I realize it hasn't been the custom or practice in the court, but I would make a request that the prosecutors be constrained not to discuss this issue with Mr. Fung, who are prior to his return to the stand tomorrow, because we think that this is important impeachment material, and we don't think that they ought to be discussing their arguments with him before he answers the questions on this issue.
Goldberg?
Your Honor, I would object to that. There is no prohibition under California law from the parties discussing matters with the witnesses. And there's no basis, legal basis for the defendant's motion.
Your Honor, I must defer to this one exception. I come from jurisdictions where, in fact, this rule is in place, generally speaking, but I would defer to Mr. Cochran to maybe address this question since he knows these matters better than I. Of course, permission.
Mr. Cochran, I'm sorry, Your Honor, but Mr. Sheck is coming to this court, and when they do that,
She's already talking, Your Honor. And rather than hear that, let me talk to Mr. Shepman.
It's like World Series where we have designated hitter rules, huh? Alternately. Nothing. Forget it.
In this regard is that we were unfortunately cut off by the objections before we could finish this impeachment at the break. And all we want is to be put in the same position what we were just prior to the break when the witness was being confronted with the video.
Mr. Goldberg?
Well, Your Honor, I thought we had a rule in this court that we were supposed to see the exhibits beforehand, and particularly with something like video. I think this happened at about 5 minutes of.
Well, I'm not particularly concerned with that. He's asked that I make an order that you not discuss the matter with Mr. Fung between now and tomorrow morning when he's shown the video matters before the jury. What's your comment on that?
And my comment is that the law and practice of the state of California is that we are allowed to talk to our witnesses. You are allowed to talk to your witnesses at breaks. You are allowed to talk to them over lunch, before trial, after trial, and so on. We know that is the rule. So why would we make an exception and carve out an exception for this witness that we didn't carve out for anyone else, that we didn't carve out for Rosa Lopez or any of the other witnesses that testified over a number of days and have the opportunity to speak to the parties, to the attorneys representing either side over those breaks? I don't see any reason to impose some different rule with Mr. Fung that is customarily applied in this state, in this court, and in this case in particular.
All right. Mr. Schick, I'm not aware of any statutory authority in the evidence code that gives me the power to do what you're asking.
One final request in that regard, then. I would make the argument to Your Honor that the objection at the end, I think, is a simple tactical matter, prevented the impeachment at the appropriate time. So it asked the courts, I'm sure you have discretion. If it's not in the evidence
Well, I
code,
agree. I think
I'm sure you have
I think
discretion.
I have,
And so I
Well,
just
let's
ask you to
assume that I
exercise
do.
your discretion.
All right. Let's assume that I do. I decline. All right. All right. Then counsel will, but this picture speaks pretty powerfully for itself.
And just for the court certification, I've examined all these photographs very carefully, and there's some others that I'll call to the court's attention that we've considered in this regard, and that is there's another shot that I'm sure the prosecutors have seen that contains some leaves, all right, in the area where the photograph was taken. And in our judgment, those leaves cannot account for what we see on that screen. And so if they're going to make an objection that they think this is misleading because there's another photograph because there's leaves in that area, I don't think that's consistent with the glove. So maybe to save some time, I'll proffer these photographs to the court. You can examine it and examine the video, and maybe we can move on quickly tomorrow with the impeachment, because I think that may forestall them.
I'll give the prosecution time to search their videotapes and look at this thing. I'll ask Mr. Harris and Ms. Fitzpatrick to stick around so we can all take a look at it again. But I need to deal with the motions I had scheduled for 4 o'clock.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Madam Reporter, you need about a couple minutes, or can you go on the motions? Okay. Your position? Well, I have Mr.
Okay,
Hopkins here.
all right, hold on. We've got a video. We got a video that he edited. All right. But it's a video that everybody has had for a long time. So why are we going through all of this? If you have a video and evidence, you can play that video. You can play just certain parts of that video. You do not have to play the entire video from beginning to end. So why does the prosecution need time to look at this video? I mean, even if they edited it, they only took this section, this section, this section. They're allowed to just play certain sections of a video. So, I mean, I don't know why the whole thing that the prosecution needs time to look at this video, blah, blah, blah. They were supposed to know about evidence, before they did. I don't understand why any of all of that just happened. That doesn't make sense. In a normal court of law, you have evidence, you show the evidence. In the middle of trial, they don't say, "Oh wait, we need time to look at this evidence." I don't get it. I don't understand. He flipped one of his hourglasses over when he just walked down.
All right, back in open court. Mr. Goldberg, you had a comment about the videotape?
Thank you, Your Honor. We wanted to lodge another objection to the playing of the tape that was discussed on Thursday, depicting the item that the defense contends may be the glove. And the basis of this objection was not discovered until quite recently, in fact, last night, and is stated in a declaration that we just filed with the court of a videotape engineer who took a look at this video. I'm not sure that I can, I hope I'm not misstating what's in the declaration because I don't understand all the technical jargon, but apparently most news organizations shoot their tapes on beta, and what we have is a VHS tape, and the clarity of the beta tape is apparently much greater than with a VHS tape. So there is a best evidence rule objection in the sense that we have been provided with what is a copy that is not as good and would not have the same resolution as the original. Therefore, we have two requests that we'd ask. Number one, that if the defense has the beta version, they should be required to play that or utilize that if they are going to use this tape.
Nope. Okay, I know there's the best evidence rule. I get that. I understand that. Don't worry. But it is perfectly acceptable for them to show a photocopy of a photo to the jury. It is perfectly acceptable for them to show a photocopy of a business contract. So, and it's not as clear, it's perfectly acceptable for them to use VHS instead of beta for this video. That's
If they don't have it, then they have to make a showing under the best evidence rule as to why they don't and why it's not available. And if the court is inclined somehow to, if they can make such a showing, the prosecution should be entitled to get the information from the defense as to where the tape came from. So hopefully we can track down the beta version. Also, apparently it's easier to enhance a beta tape than the VHS tape, which is, I think, also stated in this declaration.
All right, Mr. Scheck.
Your Honor, we gave over to the court the original VHS copy that we have, so we don't have any beta tapes. It doesn't indicate that the prosecution knows for sure that there is an original beta tape. Obviously, as I indicated to the court the other day, from our position.
Yeah, but no commercial video enterprise uses VHS as the original format.
No, the court,
which has always made me wonder why VHS beat out beta, but that's another.
But we don't have it. That's the point. And this is the best copy that we have, and we think we should be allowed to offer it under the best evidence rule for that purpose. And as I indicated to the court before,
Do you know which news organization this copy came from?
Gee, I don't. And as a matter of fact, there are two versions of this, as I indicated on the big compilations. One that has the counter on it, and the other one that does not.
okay. Well, hold on. Stop. You don't know where you got it, and there are two different versions of it that are different because one has time on it and one doesn't. No, you can't. You can't play that in front of a jury, sir.
And one of them, I even think, may even have a little logo in it indicating one of the networks. But our position is simply that this is the best we have. We've turned over the best copy we have to the prosecutors. And with respect to these tapes and all other tapes of how collection was done at the crime scene,
I colored this with my crayons. So I don't have the original video, but I watched it. And then I colored this picture with my crayons from it. So this is the best copy that we have, Judge. So, we can just play this. My alarm just went off, which means I have to go. I'll be back. I'm going to leave this running. I'll be back. I'll be back really, really soon.
We would join with the prosecution, I'm sure, in asking the news organizations to turn over. I made this plea before. Everything. I mean, they don't. They won't give us outtakes, but everything they have, the best versions that we have, because we're not interested in misleading anybody. We looked at the tape. We saw what we saw. That's the best we can do.
All right, Mr. Goldberg, any response to that?
Well, under the rule, the best evidence rule, you are allowed, generally speaking, to introduce a copy instead of the original, but you generally have to make a showing that you don't have the original and why you don't have it. Now counsel apparently have compiled these clippings from news organizations. They got them in some manner, in some way. They didn't just simply materialize in the offices of the defense in this case. We are entitled to know if they are going to use a copy. At the very least, we are entitled to know and have a representation as to precisely where they came from and how they were compiled, so that the people, at the very least, can be permitted the option of then trying to track down the beta version of this tape.
All right. Mr. Scheck, can you provide us with the source of this clip? Well, let me ask you this, Mr. Scheck. Is that information available somewhere in the defense team where it came from? This clip?
We would have to sit. What we did is put all of them together, and we'd have to sit down and disaggregate them and look at them and try to make our best estimation going back through all the records. But we went through this before in putting these clips together for the court and for the district attorney. They've had it for months. They were looking at the same
No,
thing.
the fact that they have it is one thing. Where it came from, the source of that, is another question.
I understand. I mean,
can you make that information available to them by tomorrow morning?
defer to Mr. Cockman.
No, you're handling this part,
Oh,
Mr. Scheck. Simple question. Can you make that information available to them?
If we had it, we'll make our best efforts to find out exactly where we got all this, and
All right.
we'll tell them. But I can certainly represent to the court that we gave you the best copy we had. That is the best copy we had. That's the only one available to us. And if the news organizations want to make more available, that would be terrific. But I think we satisfy the best evidence rule just on the face of it, because this is the best
Right.
available copy.
Ms. Hazlett, would you make an inquiry of the news organizations, and if anybody recognizes this videotape as their product that they turned over, we'd like to see the original beta format. All right, the objection's overruled. Let's have the jury, please. Hey, panel. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Trust you're all feeling well today. Here we had a good dinner last night. Good. All right. Record to reflect, Mr. Dennis Fung is on the witness stand again. Mr. Fung, good morning, sir.
Good morning.
You reminded you were still under oath, sir. And Mr. Scheck, you may resume and complete your cross-examination.
I'll make my best effort.
Thank you, sir. You have the morning.
I'm sorry?
You have the morning.
Oh, I'm sure I'll be into the afternoon.
Right.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen of the jury. Morning, Mr. Fung. How are you, sir?
Morning.
When we left, if we were discussing the glove at Bundy, you recall that?
Yes.
All right, and just to review a little bit, Mr. Harrison, you put up the. I'd like to show you on the screen. You recall seeing these pictures before of the Bundy glove.
Yes.
All right, and Mr. Scheck, which defense exhibit is side by side? Which one is this? Is this 1075?
1075.
All right.
Now, Mr. Fung, if we could look at the picture to the right, the one with the finger pointing at the glove. You see that, sir?
Yes, I do.
All right. Why don't we designate that position number one? Fair enough?
Yes.
All right. And let's look at the left, and that's the picture with the evidence tag, correct?
Yes.
And why don't we designate that position number two? Okay.
Yes.
Now, turning to position number one, You remember I showed you that photograph last Thursday and asked you if you had seen it in the grand jury. Remember that?
I remember that.
All right. And you indicated that you didn't think you had.
I indicated that I didn't remember seeing it.
Right. And have you since then gone back, spoken with the district attorneys, looked at the grand jury exhibit and refreshed your recollection?
Yes.
And you did in fact see that photograph in the grand jury, didn't you?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So those are the two positions from which you saw the glove in photographs. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now, before we left on Thursday afternoon, just as we broke, you were shown a videotape, were you not?
Yes.
All right. 3 different segments. I would ask now, Your Honor, that Mr. Harris be permitted to play those.
Yes. Have we marked that yet? Next in order. 1078.
Is there a... Let me approach Your Honor. I don't know if this will work, but
I don't think the pointer is going to. Do you have the laser?
okay.
And be careful where you point that. All right. Mr. Harris.
Now, do you recognize this as a picture of Detective Van Adder walking up? Now,
I can't identify who that person is.
okay. Now, do you see the object that I'm circling with this light pen?
I object to the fact that it is an object.
Oh, well,
Do you see that?
I see a dark spot on the
Okay.
video. Yes.
Would you agree that that looks to be brown?
Your Honor, it's irrelevant what you think is the best evidence.
oh, well.
To me, it just appears dark.
Does it
I
look
don't see any brown color there.
Does it appear to be three-dimensional to you?
Irrelevant.
Oh, well.
I can't determine from the video if it is or not.
Okay. You see that object again now that I'm circling with the light pen?
I see a dark area that you're circling.
All right.
Circling.
In your view,
For the record, this is a second clip segment.
yes. Is that, we're stopping that now. Again, does that appear to you to be brown and three-dimensional?
Appears to be a dark area on the video.
You wouldn't say it's three-dimensional?
I couldn't tell from the video. No.
Okay.
All right, segment 3.
Now, this appears to be you putting down evidence tags, correct?
Yes.
All right. And you still see that same object that I'm pointing to in the light pen? You saw that?
Go do it again.
All right. We run that again? Now, let me show you a still of that shot. Again, looking at that, would you agree, or do you agree, that that looks to be a brown three-dimensional object?
Appears to be a dark object or a dark area on the video.
Now, if
that
that,
Segment 3.
segment 3. Now, if that were the glove, Mr. Fung, that would be a third position, would it not?
Your Honor, I call it speculation.
Sustained.
Well, when we broke from court on Thursday, you came back the next morning, is that correct? I think it was Wednesday, actually. Thursday, came back to court the next morning, correct?
Yes.
All right. Now, that evening, did you look at these videotapes with great care?
The Wednesday evening?
Yeah.
Yes, I did look at them.
And with whom did you look at them?
There were other people in the office. I don't recall all of them.
About how many times do you think you looked at them that evening?
20.
Then when you came down the next morning in court, you reviewed them again, did you not, on these monitors?
When I came down in court the next day, there was an enhanced version, and I looked at them here, yes.
And you reviewed it with Mr. Goldberg?
What do you mean reviewed?
Well, you were looking at the tapes from various angles and photographs with Mr. Goldberg,
Yes,
with Ms. Clark.
she was present.
She wasn't sitting by the monitor with you looking at it?
She may have been, but
Mr. Harmon,
yes,
Mr. George Clark,
yes.
Mr. Darden,
I don't recall if Mr. Darden's here or not.
the gentleman Jonathan Fartlow from Decision
Fairlow.
Quest.
Fairlow.
Fairlow, I'm sorry.
Yes,
You looked at it in slow motion.
yes,
You examined various photographs.
yes.
Now, were you shown I have this photograph marked defendants next in order.
1079. Yes, 1079. Have you shown that to counsel? Have you shown that to counsel?
Yes.
Mrs. Robertson's fence is off is marking 1079 a photograph.
Your Honor, I think this was already marked for the record.
There appears to be a sticker on the back. Is that a evidence?
Yeah, that's a defendant sticker for the. Were you shown, among others, that photograph?
Yes,
Commissioner, I'd like to put this on the envelope.
Yes.
Now, was it suggested to you after seeing this picture that that object on the videotape that you will not agree with me is brown and three-dimensional was not really the glove, but was green or yellow leaves?
Sustained.
Did anybody show you this picture and suggest to you that what was on the videotape was not the glove in the third position, but green and yellow leaves?
nobody made that suggestion to me. They asked me to look at the videotape and look at different photographs.
Well, was there any discussion? It's not the glove, it's green and yellow leaves.
Nobody said that, no.
Yep. Couldn't be green and yellow leaves. Wouldn't you agree with Mr. Fung?
Excuse me?
That calls for an expert opinion.
Oh, well,
What we saw on that videotape, that object you and I were discussing, the one that you will not agree is brown and three-dimensional. Would you not agree with me
why
that,
don't you rephrase that question, Counsel?
would you agree that the object that we saw on the videotape could not be those green and yellow leaves?
I can't agree to that, no.
You think it could be
Could be what?
green and yellow leaves?
From the angle and the distance of that camera and from the poor resolution of the videotape itself, I can't make that determination.
Okay. You noticed in the photograph that, in the videotape, that the object had a little white tag in it, didn't you? Or a little white spot?
In this case, the testimony about
Sustained.
Now, did you read the next day Detective Lang quoted in the Los Angeles Times about what he thought that object was?
I haven't read the LA Times for over a week.
I understand.
Your Honor,
Oh, well,
Now, did you speak about what this object could be on the videotape with Detective Lang?
I don't think there was any discussion, no. He was present during some portion of the watching.
Well, did Detective Lang ever tell you that that object on the videotape was not the glove? It was actually the dark blood by the blanket that somehow was changed by the angle of the lens, and that's how it could be explained? You say something like that to you?
Not to me, no. I did overhear something like that.
Well, who suggested that one to you?
That was never suggested to me directly.
Well, how did you hear about it indirectly?
I was in a different area and I overheard that comment.
Now, You know that that object on the videotape can't be explained away by any of these things, don't you?
Your Honor, it's hard to miss.
Sustained.
You know it's the glove, don't you?
I don't know that.
You know it's the glove, and you just got caught by this videotape, isn't that right?
Your Honor, that's hard to miss.
Sustained.
All right, Mr. Fung, why don't we talk about the envelope for a minute? Taken two previously marked exhibits and we're putting them side by side and showing them to counsel.
All right, which exhibits are these?
One of them is 1079, the one we just marked, and the other one is the overall picture of Detective Furman pointing to the glove of the envelope and we're searching for that number. Showing it to counsel on his monitor before we display it to the jury.
All right, I need to have an exhibit number.
Yes.
Your Honor, I'll object to cropping the photograph in any way or altering its appearance on display.
Yes, the one on the left, Your Honor, is 55, 1055.
All right, the objection's overruled. All right, it's not an unfair depiction as to the position of the items.
We should have this side by side of the envelope marked as defendants.
1080.
And it. Mr. Fung, you see these two photographs, do you not?
Yes.
All right. Now, looking on the left, that's the a closer up shot of Detective Furman pointing towards the glove hat and with his hand over the envelope, correct?
Yes.
All right. And you see where the envelope is in terms of the tiles.
Yes.
All right. Now, looking at the photograph to the right, that's the envelope in the position where you put down tags and had it photographed, correct?
Yes.
All right. And it's in a different position, is it not, from the photograph where Detective Furman is pointing in the direction of the envelope?
Appears to be yes.
About how far down do you think that's been moved?
Well,
Ask which to which.
All right. The photograph where to the right, where you put down the evidence tags, that's about how many inches would you estimate moved back towards the railing from the way it's depicted in the photograph where Detective Furman is pointing towards it?
Appears to be moved 3 to 4 inches towards the west.
Right. And the difference, another difference between the photographs is that in the one where you had the picture taken with the evidence tag down, there's more, you can see drag marks in the upper right-hand corner of that picture, can you not?
I can't tell from the video, but
Well, do you recall seeing what looked like streaks of blood in the soil in the area where Mr. Goldman's body had been removed?
yes.
All right. Would you agree with me that that represents track marks of Mr. Goldman's body being removed and dragged through the area where the glove hat and the envelope were?
Cause for
Sustained.
Well, there's more leafy foliage on top of those tiles, is there not, in the picture where you had the photograph taken?
Yes.
Now, Mr. Fung, would you agree that the envelope is in two different positions here?
Yes.
And is it clear to you, sir, that that envelope was moved and put into a new position after Mr. Goldman's body was removed from the scene?
cause for speculation.
Sustained.
When did you first learn that the envelope had been moved from its original condition as it was found at the crime scene?
Irrelevant, cause for hearsay.
Overruled.
First I heard about it was during the trial,
When?
this trial,
When during the trial? We've been here for a while.
when, you're right, when Detective Lang was giving testimony,
About a month ago, 2 months ago?
whenever he was giving testimony.
And isn't it your responsibility? But how did you learn about that? Did you speak to Detective Lang?
How did I learn that?
Yeah, that the envelope had been moved.
I overheard it on the radio.
And you, in other words, you were overhearing the testimony on the radio?
Yes.
And how often have you been doing that, sir?
The testimony is playing all the time in different parts of the office, and people have it on all the time. And when I pass by, I overhear portions of it.
When you're working in some place, do you ask them to turn it off?
Sometimes, yes.
Sometimes you don't?
Sometimes I'm not there long enough to ask them to do it.
Now, Mr. Fung, isn't it your responsibility to investigate whether evidence at the crime scene has been moved or altered from its original position?
Thanks for the word investigate.
Overruled.
In some respects, it is my responsibility. Yes.
All right. And you're supposed to make inquiries of people at the scene as to whether or not evidence has been moved or altered.
Yes.
And did you ask Detective Lang if he saw evidence moved or altered, that somebody had seen the envelope and the glove moved and replaced back in a new position? Did you ask him about that on June 13th?
I don't recall if I did or not.
Well, when you say you don't recall, are you telling us that you might have?
Yes.
Did you ask Mr. Rokar, the photographer, whether he had seen any evidence moved and then replaced back to a new position?
I did not ask that of Mr. Rokar.
Did you ask Detective Phillips?
Overruled.
No.
You saw Detective Phillips at the scene when Mr. Goldman's body was being removed through the area where the envelope, the hat, and the glove were. He was there.
I did not know Detective Phillips, and he was not the officer in charge at the scene.
Right. Did you ask Steve Johnson, the chief forensic chemist,
About?
if he had seen any of the evidence moved and then replaced back into a new position?
No.
He was there, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
Did you ask Miss Ratcliffe, the representative from the coroner's office?
I did not speak with Ms. Ratcliffe.
Did you ask Mr. Jacobo from the coroner's office?
Same question? No.
Weren't they people in an excellent position to see whether or not the envelope, the hat, or the glove had been moved, since they were the ones that were involved in removing Mr. Goldman's body?
Sustain.
Well, you did see Mr. Ratcliffe, Miss Ratcliffe, and Mr. Jacobo removing Mr. Goldman's body,
Yes, I did.
but you did not ask them after that had been done whether they had seen any of the evidence moved.
Sustained.
Did you? Well, I think you've answered. There were representatives of SID who do fingerprinting at the scene, were there not?
Yes.
And they were standing on the top of the walkway, were they not?
During certain portions, yes.
And that was during the portion of time where Mr. Goldman's body was being removed. They were up there.
I don't recall when they were there.
Well, did you inquire of them as to whether or not they had seen any evidence? The envelope, the hat, or the glove moved?
No.
Did you ask Andrea Mazzola whether she had seen it?
Seen anything moved?
Yeah.
I did not ask her that.
Did you ask Andrea Mazzola to conduct an inquiry about whether any evidence had been moved?
No.
Is it your testimony, sir, that on June 13th, you did not suspect that the glove or the envelope or any other evidence in that area had been moved from their original position?
Irrelevant.
Overruled.
I did not suspect that they were moved.
Is it your testimony that you had no knowledge whatsoever on June 13th that that glove and the envelope had been moved and somebody put it back in its original position?
As soon as facts are known.
Sustained.
You have to fill out a crime scene checklist report, you and Ms. Mazzola, correct?
Yes.
And you filled it out in this case with respect to the Bundy location?
Yes.
And one of the things that you have to check off on your crime scene checklist report is, has the scene been altered? If so, by whom and how?
Yes.
All right. That's this page be marked defendants 10A1.
1081. 1081.
Is this a copy of page 2 of your Bundy crime scene checklist report?
Yes, it is.
All right. Put this on the memo, Your Honor.
Yes. Mr. Harris.
Now, what we see on the Elmo, go back a little. We see in the Elmo is that question that you have to fill out. Has the scene been altered? If so, by whom and how? Correct?
That's what it says.
And if the scene has been altered, there's 1, 2, 3 lines for you to write in what happened, right?
Yes.
That's because it's considered very important that the criminalist document whether or not the scene has been altered from its original condition.
What do you mean by very important?
Well, it's important enough to have at least 3 lines on this checklist report to make sure you fill it out if you discover or you suspect that the scene has been altered.
Oh, well,
Do you understand my
That
question, sir?
space is provided if there is, for instances when items are altered, such as, well, there are certain things that are very altered, and just make note of them.
This one was just a little altered.
sustained.
Well, on this box, is there not a question mark?
Yes, there is.
Did you put that in there?
No.
Did Ms. Mazzola put that in there to your knowledge?
Yes.
And that was put in there because you and she suspected that this scene had been altered from the way it was originally found.
Sustained. It's also cumulative.
I'm sorry?
It's also cumulative. You and she.
Did you discuss with Ms. Mazzola why she put a question mark in that box?
I think she asked me what to put in that box, and I said, put a question mark there.
And you said put a question mark there because you knew that when Mr. Goldman's body had been dragged through the evidence, that the glove had been moved, the envelope had been moved, and somebody put it back into the place where they thought it was originally.
No,
Isn't that right?
that's wrong.
Now, Mr. Fung, you have described 2 methods for collecting items that contain possible biological material other than blood drops.
Excuse me, repeat that.
Well, have you told us that there are 2 methods that you use to collect items at a crime scene other than blood drops? One involving gloves.
Yes.
All right, that's where you would pick up the item wearing gloves and put it into a bag, for example.
Yes.
And the second method that you describe for us is something that you call the scoop technique.
Yes.
And the scoop technique is a method where you take a card or a pencil and you scoop the object into a bag.
Yes.
And when you do the scoop technique, you do not touch the object with your bare hands.
That's correct.
And when you're collecting any item that could later be dusted for fingerprints, you would certainly not touch that item with your bare hands.
When I,
Yes. Let me repeat that.
yes.
When you are collecting an item which could contain fingerprints from the perpetrator or perpetrators of a crime, you would not touch that item with your bare hand, would you, when collecting it?
I would try not to,
Well, you say you try not to. It would be wrong to do that, wouldn't it?
if it was for prints, yes.
And in this case, the envelope that we saw found at Bundy that contained the prescription glasses, it had blood spatter on it.
Is that a question?
Yeah.
I didn't look at the,
You didn't notice
I didn't look at the glasses that closely.
the envelope?
I looked at the envelope.
I'm asking about the envelope. Did the envelope that contained the prescription glasses have blood spatter on it?
There was a blood pattern on it.
And it had shoe impressions on it, did it not?
I don't recall, but I do remember there was some type of blood on the envelope.
You don't recall that it had shoe impressions on it?
I don't recall that.
Do you recall that the envelope was torn at the top?
No.
Did it occur to you that one of the killers could have mistakenly believed that something other than glasses was in that envelope and grabbed for it?
Calls for speculation. Sustained.
When you were at the crime scene on June 13th, were you interested in the possibility that one of the killers could have grabbed or pulled at that envelope and touched it while struggling with Mr. Goldman?
Sustained.
When you were at the crime scene on June 13th and you saw that envelope, did you consider the possibility that the envelope might have fingerprints on it from one of the killers?
Overruled. Overruled. Killer or killers?
Killer or killers?
Killer or killers? It could have had fingerprints on the, there could have been fingerprints on the envelope.
And you thought about that then?
Yes.
Did you touch that envelope with your bare hands while collecting it, Mr. Fung?
No.
Sure of that?
Yes.
No question about it in your mind.
Yes.
Do you recall Andrea Mazzola kneeling on the ground and passing you that envelope, which you grasped with an ungloved bare hand?
No, I don't.
Your Honor, I'd like to show the prosecution.
Have you seen this already?
Yes, it is on their tape, Your Honor, but I'm not sure that they necessarily.
How
have
long
seen
is the
it.
clip?
Oh,
All right. Show it to counsel.
Your Honor, my suggestion is that we show it a few times and show it in slow motion.
Show it to counsel first, please.
Mr. Harris, why don't you show them the still that we'll show next? This is on the tape that's been provided to the court and the district attorney.
Your Honor, I asked that all counsel's comments be stricken. Those aren't proper.
Overruled. All right, counsels have the opportunity. I thought we had an agreement, however, that we'd show each other these things before we start the session. All right, let's proceed.
Your Honor, with permission, I'd like to show this particular clip 3 or 4 times, once in slow motion and then the still.
All right, we're going to mark this as defense 1082.
Mr. Fung, I'd like you to watch this tape and very, very carefully with the jury. We're going to show it to you 3 or 4 times in real time, then we'll show it to you in slow motion, and then we'll show you a still. All right, let's show it again in real time. Show it again in real time. Can we show it now in slow motion? You want to see that again in slow motion, Mr. Fung?
I don't need to see it in slow
All right.
motion.
Could we now show a still? Mr. Fung, that's you getting the prescription envelope from Andrea Mazzola and grasping it in your bare hands, isn't it?
No, it's not.
Well, what is that, Mr. Fung?
It could be any number of things.
That is not you. Is not Ms. Mazzola in the position where the envelope was on the ground?
Calls for speculation.
Sustained.
Is she in that area?
She is, I can't tell from this clip where exactly we were.
You can't tell that you're, from this clip, that you are at the Bundy location in the area where the envelope was seen on the photographs?
I don't know that's exactly where we were, no.
You're not in and around that area, no?
We may have been around that area, but
If that's not you grasping the envelope with the prescription glasses with your bare hands, what, pray tell, is it?
if we can always have the envelope printed, and if my fingerprints are on there, then it is. But I know that my
That's
fingerprints
not
are not on that envelope.
That's not you grasping it with your bare hand.
That's correct.
15.
Your Honor, can we have the envelope produced?
Which number is that, Mr. Scheck? Mrs. Robertson, do you know the number?
May I approach?
You may.
Mr. Fung, can you see that envelope in the bag?
Yes.
Now, the other items of evidence that you collected in the Bundy scene, weren't they put into coin envelopes if they were blood drops?
Yes.
And pager was put into a bag? Why don't you take out your evidence collection sheet and read along with me? The keys went into a coin envelope, correct?
Yes.
The pager went into a coin envelope.
Yes.
That object we see you and Miss Mazzola handling, it's not the keys of the pager, is it?
No.
It's not the glove.
No.
It's not the hat.
No.
It's not the ring.
No.
It's not any of the red stains that you recovered at Bundy.
That's correct.
Well, looking at your evidence checklist, can you suggest one thing other than that envelope that we saw in that videotape?
Notepad, maybe?
A notepad? Which notepad?
It wouldn't be evidence. It would be something that we used to take notes.
Mr. Scheck, what are we doing?
We're looking at it 3 more times.
This is 1082.
And now we have the still. Looking at that still, and here, if you want, we have a. Are you telling us that that's a notepad and not the envelope?
I'm saying it could be anything, but it's not the envelope here.
Well, would you agree that it's not any other item of evidence that you collected at the scene? Couldn't be any other item of evidence except for that prescription envelope, right?
Basis? Sustain.
Is there any other item of evidence that you collected at Bundy that you could be handling at that time with Ms. Mazzola?
Hold
I don't know what time frame this still was taken, so I can't give you an accurate.
That is a
Something.
picture of Mr. Jacobo and Ms. Ratcliffe.
Okay.
They're from the coroner's office.
Right.
That's true. Rephrase the question.
Are they from the coroner's office?
Yes.
And they were at the scene when you arrived,
Yes.
and they left at about 11:15, as I recall.
Right.
So it's got to be between the time that you first arrived at the scene and the time that the coroner's left.
Yes.
Are you testifying that that's not the envelope?
Sustain.
Perhaps we could play it one more time in slow motion, and he thinks he can get it better still.
I think we need to start the slow-mo sooner than that. We'll start the slow-mo at the beginning. All right, we're going backwards at this point.
Okay, that's a good one. You can get that.
How about some more? No, backwards, backwards, backwards.
There. There. How about that, Mr. Fung?
Yo.
Question, Mr. Scheck?
Yes. How about that picture, Mr. Fung? Does that refresh your recollection that you took the envelope from Andrea Mazzola with your bare hand?
When you pointed out the time frame, it makes it even more sure in my mind that that is not the envelope, because we did not start picking up envelope or evidence until well after the coroners were gone.
Oof. Oof. Who do we believe? Who do we believe?
Cap, do you have that frame? All right. 82A printout.
Don't show us. Don't worry about us. Don't worry. I looked. I tried to find this video clip that he's showing to Fung, and I cannot find it.
That's a notepad.
I'm saying I'm not sure what it is, but I know it's not that envelope.
Do you see where there's a slight, that object that Ms. Mazzola had in her hand, it appears to have a certain fullness to it?
I can't tell from the
Can't
video,
tell?
no.
Your Honor, with the court's permission, rather than have the jury touch it, but I would ask that this bag that contains the envelope be passed to the jury so they can look at it.
All right, hand it to jury number 1, please.
The latest still marked as defendants 1082A, and I asked that this also be passed to the jury.
I thought we did that already.
No, not this one, the new one.
Excuse me, counsel. You need my permission before you hand something to any juror.
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought you said yes. I apologize.
Nope. Nope. Let me see it first. Welcome to California. There. Ask me for the number. He didn't ask me directly and clearly for permission to hand it to the jury, Mr. Guy. Well, then I didn't hear it. All right, Deputy Russell, would you transmit that back to the clerk? Mr. Scheck, you collect that from Deputy Russell.
Does the jury think Fung is a liar? I don't want to. I want to believe that, he's so adamant that he's right, but I just don't know. The envelope was like orange, wasn't it? I remember it was like an orange color. What was the thing in the video? What color was it? I don't know. Maybe it was white. Maybe it was white. No, because he was training that other girl. So I don't think he's new.
Check,
I
would you
don't get
collect that from
liar
Debbie
either.
Russell, please?
I don't think he seems incompetent, though. I don't know.
All right, would this be an appropriate place to break? I need to change court reporters. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a brief recess. Please remember all my admonitions to you. Don't discuss the case amongst yourselves. Don't form any opinions about the case. Do not allow anybody to communicate with you. With regard to the case, do not conduct any deliberations until the matter has been submitted to you. We'll take a 15-minute recess. Thank you.
If the jury thinks he's a liar and incompetent, that would change everything in the jury's minds. Same. I don't believe him for a second. Nothing he says.
Patrick, just court and counsel.
Like when Shrek was asking him about the envelope, did you think that, the murderers have touched that envelope? I don't think Fung thinks that way. Totally. I think Fung is there to collect the evidence and not assume in any way, shape, or form what the evidence will be or could mean. Or I mean, I guess he has to an extent, but I don't think that he thinks like that. I don't think he tries to figure out the evidence or what it could possibly mean or things like that. He's there to collect any evidence that he sees. And I mean, I guess he has to think that way a little bit so he knows what to collect. But I don't think that's his primary mindset of thinking what could have happened and then finding the evidence to fit that. I think he looks around and finds what the evidence is, collects that. Oh, I want to see that video. The invisible footprints.
All right, is that the complete? All right, let me see counsel type again.
Could we at least be given the opportunity to take a closer look at this?
Sure, do it one more time.
I've looked too, and it didn't take me to any X-rated sites, not even one. I wonder if they were collecting any evidence in any other white envelopes that day. I wonder if they could rewind the tape to a spot before anybody touched anything there and see what items, what's her name, Maria? I don't remember her name. What items she had with her. Maybe she had notepads and things like that that were white.
Careful here.
A few moments ago, Mr. Fung, when you saw the video of the envelope, you said that it had refreshed your recollection when you looked at the frame because you knew that couldn't be the envelope since the evidence collection did not begin until the people from the coroner's office left.
That's what I indicated, yes.
All right. I'd like to show you this piece of videotape, Mr. Fung.
All right, we'll mark this as 1083.
You've been watching this in the break, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
Now, this is Miss Mazzola putting the hat in the bag, correct?
Yes,
And if you look in the back of the steps, those are the print people walking back and forth. One is in the white coats.
yes.
And you see in back of her what looks like the tape measure.
I couldn't make it out.
See it now?
Yes. Could be, yes.
Now she's picking up the glove. Now you remember that Mr. Jacobo from the coroner's office, he was the gentleman in the blue suit, the blue jumpsuits.
Yes.
I'd like you to watch very carefully in the frame these shoes. See those shoes? See those blue pants?
Yes.
That's Mr. Jacobo, isn't it?
Appears to be, yes.
So you did begin evidence collection before the coroner's left.
Yes.
So what you said before wasn't true.
It was to the best of my recollection at the time.
Well, when you filled out your evidence collection report, Mr. Fung, for the Bundy scene, I think we've been through this before. There's a box that has times on it, right?
Yes.
And you didn't fill out any times for the collection of any of these pieces of evidence, did you?
They were not filled in.
We'll just print out the last still of the shoes.
All right, 1083A.
Thank you. Mr. Fung, why don't we move on to the issue of DNA and your knowledge of it? I believe you said during cross-examination that you were not a DNA person.
Something relative to that, yes.
And that by that, you mean that you haven't been through serology at SID?
I've never been assigned there.
All right. And just so you can make it clear to the jury, at SID, there are various different places you can rotate through.
Yes.
And your rotation did not include serology.
Yes.
And what is serology?
Serology, in serology units, they will analyze biological fluids and sometimes tissue for genetic markers.
And sometimes it's called conventional genetic marker testing.
Yes.
That's blood type A, B, O, things of that nature.
Total.
That's one of the tests they do.
Yes. A test called EAP. Are you familiar with that one at all?
I'm not familiar with it, no.
And then starting in January of 1995, SID began doing DNA testing.
I'm not sure when they started.
Well, are you aware that at some point in time, SID began doing a form of DNA testing in 1994?
I'm not aware of when our DNA program started.
When I say that your lab do it, I meant that it's actually done in-house by analysts from the Los Angeles Police Department laboratory. We're clear on that.
Yes.
As opposed to collecting samples that would be then sent out to other laboratories for DNA testing.
Yes.
And to your knowledge, had prior to 1994, had the Los Angeles Police Department collected samples and sent them out to other laboratories for DNA testing?
Sustained.
Now, at any time in 1994, had people from the Los Angeles Police Department Crime Lab given a lecture to you on procedures for collecting evidence that would subsequently be subjected to DNA testing?
Prior to 1994,
Well, during 1994.
I never received that training, no.
Prior to 1994, did you receive any training on how to collect samples that would subsequently be subjected to DNA testing?
Brief training, yes.
And who gave you this brief training?
I don't recall.
Was it, do you know who Erin Riley is?
Yes, I do.
And is she the most experienced DNA analyst at the LAPD crime lab?
I don't know who the most experienced person is.
Well, she would be the most experienced in the, do you know what the PCR or polymerase chain reaction method is?
No, no, that's not it, but it's close. So once Shek gets to that part, I'm going to play a short 1 minute, 20-second clip that Josh found.
Do you know what that
I
is?
can't go into any detail on
I'm just going to play
it.
it now.
It's one of the procedures. There's two.
I'm just going to play it right now. Just going to play it right now. We do see video here, not what we want, but we do see video here. And this is going to happen later, but I'm going to play this now. I can't hear the judge either if he's talking.
Well, first two tapes, so we saw two different angles. Are you and Miss Mazzola leaving? You're carrying brown bags in one hand, black valise in the other, correct?
Here we go.
And when you saw,
So I don't know what that means for the envelope, but keep that little video in mind when he's questioning.
two procedures, and that's one of them.
one of them PCR, what's known as PCR,
Yes.
and to your knowledge, is that the one that the Los Angeles Police Department crime lab began in sometime in 1994 to do in-house?
Again, I'm not. I don't keep up abreast with the DNA program.
And the other method is sometimes known as RFLP. Have you heard that term?
I've heard the term.
Standing for restriction fragment length polymorphism. Have you heard that term?
I haven't heard that term, no.
In terms of the differences between the PCR testing and the RFLP testing, do you know anything about the differences between those methods?
Just very limited knowledge.
Well, you say you don't recall your brief lecture on how to collect samples for purposes of future DNA testing.
Sustained.
But you don't know who gave you that lecture?
I don't recall who gave it, no.
Was it, would it refresh your recollection, is it Greg Matheson?
It may have been.
He's the head of serology.
Yes. He is
Was
head
it-
of, or he was head of serology.
Michelle Kessler,
I'm pretty sure it was not Michelle Kessler.
she's the head of the laboratory.
Yes, she is.
Could it have been a gentleman named Harry Klan?
No, it was not Harry.
You know who he is?
Yes, I know.
He's
Criminal Squad.
another analyst, DNA analyst in serology.
He was.
He's not there now.
I think he's assigned to a different.
Now, in your brief lecture about collection of evidence for purposes of DNA testing, did anybody ever tell you that the ability to perform successful DNA analysis on biological evidence recovered from a crime scene depends very much on the kinds of specimens collected and how they were preserved?
Seems that's not an evidence, Your Honor.
Overruled.
I've heard something to that effect, yes.
Were you told that the technique used to collect and document such evidence, the quantity and type of evidence that should be packaged, and how the evidence should be preserved are some of the critical points for a forensic DNA testing program? Were you told anything to that effect?
Overruled. Were you told something like that, Mr. Fung?
To the last part of his question, I don't recall being told something like that.
Were you told anything to the effect that if evidence is improperly packaged, cross-contamination can occur?
Not at that training, no.
No special emphasis on that in your brief DNA lecture.
Not that I can recall.
Were you told that if DNA evidence is not properly preserved, that decomposition and deterioration may well occur?
Not at that lecture, no.
And were you told that the decomposition or degradation of DNA evidence can seriously affect the outcome of DNA typing?
So this can't be fair. This is not the correct person for this. So the lawyer is just reading questions into the record that the jury can hear that this person can't answer. And he just gets to say whatever he wants right now. And Fung can just say, I don't remember that, but it's too late because Shaq has already said, put this in the jury's mind, even though this is the wrong person to ask.
I don't recall that being discussed.
Were you ever shown a set of guidelines for the collection and preservation of DNA evidence that was produced by the Federal Bureau of Investigation?
Yes, I've been shown that.
All right. I asked, may I approach the witness?
You may.
Is this the document that?
Sure.
Now you say you've been shown a book entitled Guidelines for the Collection and Preservation of DNA Evidence?
I believe it's a leaflet, but yes.
Leaflet. And when were you shown that?
That was shown to me maybe a couple weeks ago, by a couple weeks ago.
Who showed it to you?
Mr. Goldberg.
So in other words, Mr. Goldberg showed you the guidelines for the collection and preservation of DNA evidence long after you collected the evidence in this case.
This was a fact on evidence. There's only one set of guidelines.
Sustain. Rephrase the question.
Mr. Goldberg showed you the guidelines for the collection
April
and preservation
11th.
of DNA evidence produced by the FBI long after you did the collection in this case.
Yes,
And one of the authors of this is Dr. Henry Lee, correct?
I believe so, yes.
Now, do you know how much DNA would be contained in 1 microliter of blood?
No,
Do you know what a microliter is?
I believe it's 1 to the -6 liters.
And in terms of what a microliter of blood would look like, would you not agree that it would be about the size of a pinhead?
Overruled. On that ground. Sustain.
Well, do you know whether 1 microliter of blood would be enough to do a DNA test using the RFLP method?
Same objections.
Sustain.
Were you given any instruction with respect to how much blood could be used in a successful DNA test?
Same objections.
Overruled.
Yes,
And
briefly.
were you told that as little as 1 microliter or a pinhead of blood could produce a result with an RFLP test?
I wasn't told that.
Were you told it could produce a result with a PCR test?
The training I recall did not discuss PCR or RFLP.
Were you told that minute particles of blood that you can't even see with the naked eye could be recovered from items of evidence and then used in a DNA test, be it PCR or RFLP?
I wasn't told that, no.
Were you warned that it is very important to make sure that minute particles of blood are not spread from one item of evidence to the other, especially when you're going to do subsequent DNA testing?
No.
Were you instructed that if one just wet a finger, rubbed it on a podium such as this, then wiped it with a cloth, that an extraction from that cloth could successfully be amplified and used in a DNA test?
Sustain. Sustain. You're to disregard the implication of that.
Do you know whether cells from a small cut from your finger transferred onto a piece of evidence could be a source in a subsequent DNA test from the evidence you touch?
Do you have any training regarding this, Mr. Fung?
No.
Do you have any knowledge about that? This
You-
particular issue?
Not expert knowledge, no.
All right,
Are
proceed.
you're going out and collecting the evidence here, are you not?
Yes.
Now, I'd like to explore with you the little knowledge that you have.
Sustain.
Well, how would you describe it? I'm sorry, you say limited?
Yes.
I'm sorry, the limited knowledge. Were you taught anything about the dangers of contamination, cross-contaminating samples when collecting it for purposes of DNA testing?
Not for DNA testing, no.
Now, you told us on direct examination that you wear gloves, at least for one purpose, withdraw. You told us on direct examination that one purpose of wearing gloves during the collection of evidence is for your own protection.
Yes.
Do you not regard it also as important to wear gloves as a measure to prevent contamination of the samples that you're collecting?
Yes.
That's another purpose,
Yes.
an important purpose.
It is a purpose.
Now, you were asked on direct examination how you decide when to change gloves. Do you recall that?
Yes.
And you recall that you answered that when the gloves get dirty, or I have to use some of my instruments or personal items, I will remove the gloves so as not to contaminate myself or other items of evidence.
Yes.
Now, when you say that the gloves get dirty and then you remove them, that means that you can see something on the gloves.
Yes.
And you've received no instruction that samples can be contaminated for purposes of DNA testing through minute particles of blood that one cannot see.
Sustain.
Has anybody told you that samples that are being collected for purposes of DNA testing can be cross-contaminated by minute particles of blood that cannot be seen?
No.
Have you been told that evidence that is being collected for purposes of DNA testing can be contaminated by other cellular material that is so minute one cannot see other than blood?
Sustain.
I'm asking if anybody's ever told them that.
But we've already established the extent of this training, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Now, there is no rule in the collection of evidence for purposes of DNA testing at LAPD that gloves should be changed between each sample.
There's no rule to that, no.
And you did not change gloves between the collection of each sample, did you?
Not that I can recall, no.
And you did not instruct Ms. Mazzola to change her gloves between the collection of each sample.
That's correct.
And you know that she did not change her gloves between the collection of each sample.
From reviewing the videotapes, yes.
Now, you did receive a handout on the how to collect evidence, which included references to DNA testing, did you not?
I don't know what you're referring to.
Do you recall receiving a handout that was given to criminalists with respect to the collection and preservation of body fluids?
I don't recall having received something like that.
Let me show you a document of 3 pages. It has to be a little more collectively defendants next to me.
1084.
You said 1084, Your Honor.
Yes, 1084.
Have you seen those documents before, sir?
No,
You were never handed out these 3 pages with respect to procedures for the collection and preservation of body fluids.
I don't recall having been given that. No.
Do you recall receiving any lectures at any time on how to collect and preserve body fluids from anyone at the LAPD crime line?
I had on-the-job training.
And in that on-the-job training, were you given instructions on how to use cloth swatches for the collection of bloodstains at a crime scene?
Yes,
I mean, you participated in the creation of all those boards, did you not, that laid out the procedure?
yes,
And when you went through those boards, did you go over those procedures carefully with people from the crime lab?
not from the crime lab, no.
Well, who'd you go over with?
Myself, Criminals Mazzola, and Mr. Goldberg.
Did you ever go through any of these procedures with Mr. Yamauchi?
I did not know.
Mr. Yamauchi is an analyst that works at the LAPD crime lab,
Yes, he is.
and you know him as being the analyst that did some of the DNA testing in this case.
Yes,
And you've discussed with him your testimony in this case,
yes,
and you've gone over some of the details with him.
limited.
Now, in terms of, were you ever told with respect to procedures,
All right, we'll report this.
All right. Kelly's right. We should get to work. We've been frustrated enough for one day by this little tiny little guy. And I promised once I was divorced I would never be frustrated by a tiny man ever again. Because my husband was really tiny. Anyway, thank you for coming out, guys. I really, really, really appreciate it. Time for me to go grab my chainsaw again, because now that I cut those trees down, I have to cut them into little tiny logs so I can burn them. That'll be fun. You guys have a great day. I'll see you again real soon, okay? Bye.